Allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My people make we shout, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego diary politico, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My people make we shout, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego diary politico, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yeah. My egun don't come, oh yeah. My people make you shout, oh yeah. My egun don't come, oh yeah. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, oh yeah. My ego diary politico, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. Aha, now you not done here. All these bad politicians, them we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting suppose get for this country. And I never hear something. Now go hear one, my ego. You go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. My people make we laugh, oh yeah. Come, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah.
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is my ego live, and thank you so much for joining me. Always remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, the ideal thing for you to do next is to read the description of the broadcast, especially when they are not really that much, okay? Then like it, the broadcast, share it, the video, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, tell them to join us, that Mayegu is live. And if you have done that, thank you. So I think we are good to start on a good note this evening, especially one of our most covered stories on this platform in the last 8-9 weeks, so to say, especially when the children were taken from their schools in Ogbomoso, Oriire local government area of Ogbomoso, Ogbomoso, So the terrorists believed to be ISWAP or Boko Haram terrorists. Initially, they were thought to be the Fulani terrorists, right? But they made their demand after a few days of taking them and beheading one of the teachers they took. So they made their demand, and their demands at the time was that the terrorists who are currently languishing or being locked up in different prisons in Oyo State were to be released if we were to see these children and the teachers again. And so many things happened between that time and now, right? Including when the Nigerian authorities said they've located them. But the only thing is that they couldn't go in and get these children rescued because that could be fatal, right? The terrorists threatened that if the government should use any force to rescue these children, then they will kill them. Now, from the news we have received today, apart from seeing these surviving victims, like apart from those who didn't survive, like the teacher they beheaded, right? So after seeing these children today, as well as the story that followed, okay, I think we do have a reason to, should I call it a thank God, right? So here is what they told us happened. They said that they didn't pay any ransom or release any terrorists in exchange for the freedom of these children. So this evening, the video of the released school children and their teachers hit the internet, and it's just like a few hours ago, so to say. So that famous teacher, that head teacher, right, or principal rather, the one that has been appealing to the government not to use any force or by any means should do what they could to accede to the demand of the terrorists. So she's lost so much. She's kind of like emaciated a lot, right? But the children were fine from what I have seen. I'm not saying fine, like physically fine, but I don't know that of the psychological part, okay? So the government, I mean, the lying government of Tinubu, they have also taken to the media themselves to regale us with the triumphant rescue of these children. And according to them, they have arrested those who kidnapped them. They didn't show us. They are yet to show us those who took these school children 55 days ago. They are yet to. But here is the first clip of them after their rescue. Because right now they are telling us that they rescued them. They killed some of the terrorists, according to Onofunuga. I have no evidence of that, okay? Then they arrested some of those who took them, including the terrorists that the terrorists in prison that these terrorists were demanding should be released if we were to see these school children again. So they said that one has been like rearrested and is currently being interrogated of how this whole thing got linked up or connected, okay? So this is the relief, the sort of like, relief that video that we got today from, from the victims that have been released. So here, from Oyo.
Hello, sir. Our Father, we are grateful. The President, sir, we are grateful. We understand your commitment to our safety, and we appreciate all you did for us. We could see your hand. Thank you very much. And every security operative, they tried so much, and that is why we are still alive now. We are very grateful unto you. Thank you very much. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir.
I mean, it's really good to see them all alive, okay? So for the past 1 month, let's say for like about 5 weeks now, the authority told us that they've located them a few days after they were taken, and then it became public. They said they located them, but they couldn't use force to rescue them. So they were just following them as the terrorists were moving them. They were moving with them. It's like watching the terrorists providing providing kind of like a passage for them until when they didn't. Makinde, reacting to the news this evening, had this to say.
Good evening, Sean.
Yes, congratulations on the release of the abducted persons in Oyo State.
Thank you so much. It's such a big relief for all of us, and for those waiting, for this past 57 days. I think is a big relief for all of us, and we'll use the opportunity to say thank you to our service commanders, the Nigerian police, the DSS, the military, and the high command, and of course the president, for pushing really hard, to have this done. I think I'm just right now overjoyed, and I can hardly say much. I will talk much later when I can put my thoughts together.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Congratulations again, and my goodwill and my congratulations to your government and the people of Oyo State. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Yes.
So that's a relief. Okay, it is a relief that no child is lost in this whole, this whole madness, right? But I'm also interested, and we should all be interested in seeing the identities of those who were involved, including that or those terrorists in Agodi prison and other prisons in Oyo State that triggered this kidnapping. I mean, that would be the justice, right? So they said that they killed some of the terrorists in the course of trying to rescue these people. They killed 2 of them, according to them, and they arrested 9 of them, as well as the ones in prison that prompted them to carry out this kidnapping. Now, most of, or let me say, the details of their release and all of that is very much still sketchy, right? It's not really like so disclosed, but it is a relief. It's a good thing that they are finally back. But the question is going to be, so who is going to be next? I remember when this happened then, I said, or many people actually said it, that now that this is going to be, or if this was going to be our reality in Yoruba land, kidnapping of school children, and others said, no, it will never happen again. And if you are very used to Nigeria and the level of the insecurity in that country, as well as the culpability of those in government who are shielding most of the suspected sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria, right? Then there is a very good reasons to be worried that this will happen again. Like, you can't hold them to their words, right? But like I said, we will wait for more details of, because these are real details that we should know. Who are the terrorists in Oyo prisons? How many of these terrorists, right, are not just in Oyo, even in Yoruba land, who are being talked in different prisons in Yoruba land? So if they said that for security reasons they can't tell us or they can't make them public, that's the work of the media. Because at this time, you would like to know, are we housing some notorious high-graded terrorists in Yoruba land, and the government is keeping that away from the people? There were those who are saying that they probably paid their ransom, and I'm like, okay, if they claim that they didn't pay any ransom, right? It will be much sensible for them to not cover those who are behind this if they have made arrests, like they claim they've made arrests. They said, right? Others are saying that, but if this is just one of those where they paid ransom as well, and they would expect this to be swept under the carpet and everybody moved on until something else happened, or it happened again, right? It's a shame, because maybe they should have actually paid the ransom like weeks ago, rather than wait for 55, 57 days before doing that. But above all, right, without actually puncturing the joy and the relief that this sort of brought to our hearts. Because a lot of us actually wanted to see these children back. We did not want anything to happen to them than what has already happened. The teachers, the beheaded teacher, we expected that his body would also probably be retrieved for proper burial. I mean, his families are supposed to see him, right? So these are the kind of like questions that the matters arising that people are like asking, including me. But maybe they are too early to be asked. Maybe this is too early to ask, right? So we will kind of like a simmer on that for now and wait for the unfolding details, right? They promised that they are going to give us more, including to disclose those who carried out this attack. Those ones they claim to have arrested, the terrorists they arrested inside that Oyo forest. All of these things took place inside that same Oyo forest, where we have established the network. Sorry, we have established that the existence of the network of criminalities going on in that axis, right? So that is where the rescue took place, according to them. We'll wait for more afterward, right? So I don't know if I should say congratulations to Sheyi. I can at least say congratulations to the families who have, especially those mothers who were crying and weeping, all of that when these children were taken. There's this grandmother who said that 3 of our own grandchildren were among those children taken, as well as his daughter, our daughter-in-law rather, right, who was also taken. And that daughter-in-law is the teacher, the second teacher that was crying with the principal in that video back there, right? So she's been released as well. So that's a big relief for them, for the family. That's also like a big congratulations, right, to the victims and the families alike. However, usually in Nigeria, we talk a lot about the terrorists and the atrocities they commit, by the way, right? Meanwhile, when terrorists are picked up in their usual way, whenever terrorists are arrested, we have seen them claim to be rehabilitating terrorists, while their victims have mostly been left to probably tend to themselves psychologically, physically, and financially, and many. A lot of them have been kind of like dragged through. So they end up having to be on their own. So we hope that the whole recovery, rehabilitation, this time around will go, it will go for the victims, not the terrorists. Maybe or your state government can actually start that and be a good example of that. These children, the teachers, will require a lot of help, medically, therapy, counseling, and in fact, reintegration as well. I don't know what damages this must have done to these young children who were subjected to this horrific experience. I think that's probably like a conversation for another time too. So again, right, congratulations to the families, and we are happy that you are happy to see your own children back. The people responsible for this, I mean the government that failed to provide the necessary security protection for these children, teachers, parents, and Nigerians generally, right? They are still busy giving themselves, this pat on the back that they are doing so well. And in fact, if not for them, Nigeria will probably be like the worst place, if it's not already like the worst place to be, right? So they are patting themselves on the back and telling themselves that they have excelled so well enough, right, that they launched thiefnubu's they call it door-to-door campaign. Door-to-door something movement. Okay, that's for thiefnubu's second term. So they hosted themselves in Abuja yesterday. The Horny Of Ife was there. So many other traditional rulers and all these guys were there, all there to praise the thiefnubu himself, even though thiefnubu wasn't there. Akpabiole, as well as their party chair, they were all there to mesmerize themselves, regale themselves, and for all of their achievements, according to them, starting with the Horny Of Ife. Now, that one said, thiefnubu has transformed Nigeria beyond their expectation, right? He said that thiefnubu came in prepared, and he has helped grown the Nigerian stock exchange. That people have made so much money from that. The Naira, all those their usual talking points, all those jargons, right? He was spewing that in Abuja yesterday. I'll take you there. The Horny Of Ife.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came very prepared and the result is obvious. From the public governance and the private sector, what is happening in this country, we have never experienced it before. If you go to the capital market of Nigeria today, we are getting to a market capitalization of over 140 trillion. Never in the history of Nigeria. Also, the foreign reserve of this country is now getting to $52 billion. This can finance importation in the next 3 years conveniently. The projection is there clearly that the dollar is going to be well stabilized and there will not be anything to shake our foreign exchange. The disparity is so close, no more arbitrage, no more rent seeking. We are now ready for real production in our country. Also, the truth be told, the turnaround in the economy of our dear country, the legacy of Mr. President will definitely speak for him. A very bold decision he took. We're seeing the impact. Never in the history of our country that Nigeria will play a very strategic role in European economy. Thank God for a company in Nigeria to have sustained the aviation industry of the entire European market. Right now, a company in Nigeria, a local company in Nigeria, is at par in terms of production capacity of aviation fuel of the entire United States of America. Also, our dear president is turning around the engine room of our economy. Look at what just happened with Ajaokuta Steel and NNPC, the strategic agreement in providing gas for an industry that they said it can never work in our country. I can go on and on about things that this government has achieved. On behalf of all the traditional rulers of this country, we are very proud and very happy to be associated with this government. I think every political leaders on behalf of Mr. President here today deserves a resounding round of applause. Please, the entire audience, if you truly know that you are not here for selfish reason, but for the sake of a betterment Nigeria, please give the president a resounding. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I don't want to use that Odunlade Adekola's video of Nuisance Leleyi, right? Out of respect for that stool. But yeah, the traditional rulers in Nigeria, under the aegis of Nigerian Traditional Rulers Council, they were invited, including the likes of Asari Dokudump, Tompolo. In fact, Tompolo actually, you know, the guy that is collecting over 7 billion naira every month for protecting Tantiata, for protecting the Nigerian waterways against oil bunkers. The Navy couldn't do that because the Army couldn't do that. They have been accused of, in fact, aiding and abetting the oil bunkering in that part of Nigeria, Niger Delta. But he's made a lot of money for himself. In appreciation, right? He furnished thiefnubu's second-time campaign with these luxury buses.
On your mandate, we shall stand. Asiwaju. On your mandate, we shall stand. Bola. On your mandate. Mandate. On your mandate. Asiwaju. On your mandate.
Nigeria, the waka go front, no stopping. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu door-to-door movement, they push the renewed hope agenda go front. And we they invite you now, make una come join this Obonge event. We go inaugurate the national executive with the founder and grand patron, High Chief Dr. Government Ovezide Ekpemopolo, aka Tompolo. They lead for front with a full chest.
On your mandate, we
On your mandate, they shall die. So, Nigeria, politics in Nigeria is so funny and crazy too. So crazy and criminal. They will steal money, a lot of it. And they will ensure that those who are their owners, supposed foot soldiers, their leaders and all that, they get access to these funds, criminal money, right? And in appreciation, whenever an election is coming, they are expected to make a huge donations, either by cash or by by material stuff too, right? Nigeria is a place where after they all get or stole this money, a lot of it, they become so stupendously so rich. And then they will have enough of this money to procure, buses, cars, and all that to prosecute a campaign of their supposed benefactor. However, when it comes to the people who are supposed to be the center of the whole thing called democracy, you realize that the people they are actually at the wrong bottom of the ladder. There are those they will be given, wrappers, soap, bar soap, detergent soap, buckets, and maybe to some extent they'll give them freezer. Those are like few, but mostly rice, gari, noodles, spaghetti, right, and so on. That's for the rung of the ladder, the bottom. While the local hospitals, I mean, I do think that too. Like when I see all these fancy bosses, you see them in their thousands contributed as their campaign stuff. And I'm like, how come that these same people couldn't actually use this stolen money in a way, right? Instead of sharing rice and the rest of that, and just be like, you know what, I would rather. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm just kind of imagining it too, that you stole money, which you shouldn't have actually stolen in the first place, right? Then the money, which usually should go into development or whatever it is for the people, right? Siphoned and then used to prosecute elections. When election is coming, people who are claiming to be like hungry, the country is hard and the rest, they will be seeing these guys flaunting this excessive wealth. And they will tell you, with all of this, do you really think anybody can defeat this incumbent? Not based on whatever they have done. They can tell lies. They can repeat these lies. Nothing of such. I mean, none of that will actually make it true. But they don't care. They keep repeating it and all that. So look at Asari. He was there too as a traditional ruler. Asari, Dokudom. It seems like all of these traditional rulers, not all of them, most of them right now are now hiring like hype men that will announce their arrival, like created scenes and all of that. Asari is a king. Asari is called Amaya Nambo. He was made a king by Fulbara. So he was there. Many others too. They were there to endorse the second term. And it was the same Asari just a year after thiefnubu got into that same office, right? And he told us, he was like, this was not the thiefnubu he knew. Remember?
I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. Since 1992, when I encounter you, I don't think this is the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. That calls me his friend, and I call him my friend, and calls me my son, and I call him my father. This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know.
I don't know the meaning of this AC Bupa. And it was also the same guy prior to that, who said that if thiefnubu fail, hold him responsible. Remember that?
I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
You say?
I say, if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
Thank you.
The job people are already angry that this is the worst government.
We have just started.
We must learn a lesson.
This man!
You're going to trust man. Adam. Your eyes will see what your mouth cannot talk.
So now back to the hall where they had where the press singers were reeling out what they considered as the achievements as achievement of a thiefnubu in 3 years and why it should continue next year to 2031. They are confident. So today, apart from the whole RNG, the press singing stuff and all that, right? They also used it today to confirm that he is not going to be changing shitty man. There were fears at the point that they were not going to probably try their Muslim ticket again in 2027, but that suspicion is now not going to materialize, meaning it's going to be thiefnubu, shitty man again. But here, there's Akpabiole, who seemed to represent Koolu in the hall, I believe. And as usual now, I'm going to make you listen to him, right? But here, Akpabiole.
Matthew, we salute you. You are always with us, and you are doing well. You are flanked by members of the oil industry. The first person I saw when I came was my brother, Alhaji Bala Wunti, and I said, Matthew, you are still within the oil sector, and you are always very oily. Your former deputy governor is also with you. The royal fathers of the Niger Delta region in their numbers. The keynote speaker who took us through the educational aspect of people's movement, together with the contributions of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in just 3 years today, Professor Bashir McAfee, the newly inaugurated leadership and members and stakeholders of the PBAT Door-to-door movement, members of the media. Do not mind the noise. I think some people are sharing things at the back, and it's important. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to represent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who actually is also present here in person. You saw him on television screen, watching the occasion real time. So he's watching me now, and so I have to be very careful so I don't say what he did not mean. But Mr. President is delighted to be here. He's also delighted to watch this occasion, voluntary occasion, coming from the hearts of Nigerians. People committed to the progress and development of the nation. People interested in the future of Nigeria. Just like the German philosopher said, that every generation out of absolute obscurity must discover its mission. When you discover it, you either betray it or you do what? Or you fulfill it. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu happens to be somebody right from birth and through his various vocations in life who discovered his own mission and vowed never to betray it. When we look at his days in the stewardship, in the crusade for democracy in Nigeria, through his days as governor of Lagos State, the imprints are everywhere that he had vowed, and he will never betray the mission of ensuring a better Nigeria. So I'm delighted to stand on his behalf for the inauguration of this national executive of the PBAT Door-to-door movement and this timely public lecture on implementing difficult reforms in the context of continuity. The Nigerian experience. This is titled 2023 to 2031. To God be the glory. Amen. Every great nation is built one citizen at a time. Built by one citizen at a time. Like a building block. One community at a time. And one door at a time. Before there are crowds, there are households. Before there are victories at the ballot boxes, there are competitions at the doorsteps of every home. A movement that goes from door to door must do more than just seek support from every door it touches. It must carry truth. It must inspire confidence. It must listen to the people and the household owners. And it must also return to those same doors to tell them about the dividends of good governance after the votes. That is how democracies endure. The theme before us today speaks to one of the oldest truths in nation building. Every generation must decide.
It's like all talk, right? But I just want it on record, like every other ones that we have done in the past. Okay, capture it, what they said, and now where he said what. Do you get what I mean? So he was there to remind everyone, right, that there is no alternative to Koolu. I mean, it's their party, they are the ruling party, right? So to them, he has done so well that right now, every APC, egbekegbe's member, every Ronuku or a Ronu Nazio or whatever, right? Every one of them must, at this point, right, try their best to be patient with Nigerians, even if Nigerians are angry, because according to them, they believe that the negativity that thiefnubu's regime suffers is simply because people are not telling Nigerians how much thiefnubu has changed their lives. I mean, it's only in Nigeria, yeah, where when people complain and say, hey, things are this or that, and blame Koolu, the government and all that, their supporters, okay, they will tell you that you should be grateful that if you knew the sacrifices that thiefnubu is making for you to bring you to this level that you are in that contraption, right? You'll be grateful. It's only those who didn't really like him are those who are peddling the misinformation. That's what they call it, misinformation. So this their door-to-door. I actually see that as an audacity of people who feels like, there is no consequences for what they have done so far. Abi, how can you explain it? If somebody comes to your door in Nigeria of today, sharp your door and say, hey, I'm here on behalf of thiefnubu, and I want to talk to you about, how thiefnubu has been this, that, right? And then they want you to vote for him. In Nigeria of today, do you not know that that's kind of like supposed to be a risky job for anybody to take and say, I'm going to go and do door-to-door for thiefnubu? That's to tell you the confidence that they have, that no matter how connected they are with the people, they don't really see it that way. In fact, they live in their own bubble that, you know what, if you see anybody that says or rejects a Koolu by any means, just consider them as those who are like haters. Majority loves him. That's the world they are living in. Listen to Akpabiole. He was even singing at a point. Yeah? But watch this.
The journey. The purpose of reform is not to make life difficult for the people, but to lay the foundation upon which future generations can build lives upon for greater dignity of every individual, for prosperity, for greater opportunities. Lasting progress is rarely achieved without temporary sacrifice. As the President of the Senate and the Chairman of the National Assembly, I want to assure you on behalf of Mr. President that the National Assembly remains committed to providing the legislative support necessary to strengthen all the reforms that are being put forward by this administration that will save the interests, the national interests of Nigeria, while ensuring that the welfare of our people remains paramount in every deliberation. Good governance succeeds when the executive, the legislature, and the Nigerian people move forward together. To the newly inaugurated executives of the PBAT movement, door-to-door, your greatest assignment is not merely to mobilize support, but to inspire hope, to promote national unity, and encourage constructive engagement. Politics should never divide us beyond repairs. Elections may produce winners and losers, but Nigeria must always emerge the ultimate victor. Our nation is greater than any political party. Nigeria is greater than any office holder. And Nigeria is greater than any election. We inherited this republic from those who toiled and built it before us. And we hold it in trust for those who will come after us. Many of them are in this hall. Let us therefore conduct ourselves in ways that future generations will remember with gratitude. As you are inaugurated today, remember that you are ambassadors, not merely of a political movement, but of a democratic engagement and process. Knock on every door with respect. Listen before you persuade. Unite before you mobilize. Let every conversation strengthen faith in our democracy and confidence in Nigeria's future. When politics is conducted with patriotism and service, every door opened becomes another gateway to national renewal. And every door leads to a renewed hope for a greater Nigeria and, of course, a more prosperous nation. I want to congratulate the leadership of the PBAT movement, door-to-door, on this inauguration. And I want to commend the organizers for creating this platform that combines civic engagement with intellectual discourse as I listened. I want to also further commend Government Tompolo and his brother and his team for putting this together. Honestly, this is like baked in Niger Delta and then eaten in Katsina. Baked in Niger Delta, but eaten where? In Katsina. Kano is waiting for his peace. And this leads me to the joke that the governor of Niger State was making with our revered mentor and leader, former speaker and former governor of Katsina. He said, my slave. It is the joke between Katsina and Niger State. Nobody should take it seriously. I've also seen that kind of joke between the Kanuris and the Kanuris and the Fulanis. I've seen that kind of joke. But we don't have it in the southern part of Nigeria. So don't leave this all thinking that a man who is much older than the governor could have been the slave of the governor. Otherwise, he would have been the other way around. The governor would have been the slave of my brother, Aminu Masari. So it's between them. They understand. It is a tribal joke. But I do know that Nigerians have time to joke, despite the difficulties. But one thing stands, that despite the number of tribes, we are united together whenever the nation calls. Look at the caliber of personalities here present. I feel highly elated. Mr. President wants me to extend to you his appreciation. That was why when he was watching, you notice he put his hand here and said, is this actually happening in Nigeria? People can appreciate government while government is still in power. This shows you what will happen when he leaves power. We appreciate the president for putting on his thinking cap and turning Nigeria around in just 3 years. A nation that had less than 700,000 or 700 billion, not up to one month fact. Now they share 2-point-something trillion a month to states of the federation, and the governors here can confirm, particularly Governor Kefas, and even Governor Dauda, all of them here, they can confirm to the fact that they don't borrow money because we have been able to build a non-oil economy. We are no longer a mono economy dependent on oil because of the thinking of this president. So you can imagine support.
Nuisance Lele. Akpabiole. That's a popular saying, you know, invented by thiefnubu and his gang. Okay, the state no longer borrows money. You know, that's a lie. The state gets more money now, they don't borrow anymore. That is a lie. But when you remind them that, but how come Nigeria has now borrowed under thiefnubu in 3 years, right? They've borrowed more than all the debts they met. I mean, all the debts before them, that's like a 24 years, right? So all the debts they met, they have, thiefnubu has borrowed more than that. They will tell you that, but it's not just thiefnubu now. That what thiefnubu is doing is that he is borrowing the money on behalf of the governors. What are you talking about? Ogun State, or Lagos State, or your State, Ekiti, Osun, Edo, Ondo. Keep going that when you keep going to the east, to the south, and all of that stuff, right? Every state in Nigeria is in debt. Every. And one of the things that this abracadabra, the voodoo economy of thiefnubu, that I will keep reminding you of, okay, is the falsification, the forgery that they have now introduced into your polity. It all started from when the thiefnubu himself admitted 33% unemployed, recruit 50 million youths into the army. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado. It's grown here. You create demand and consumption. Abi, farmers will make more money. Anyway, so when thiefnubu came to power, they changed the unemployment figure in Nigeria from over 60% unemployed Nigerians, pretty much that actually represent the reality, by the way, okay? They reduced it to 4.2%, because according to them, if you are running an errand on your street, even though you are jobless, or you do help your the people on your street to wash their cars, and they dash you money, right? So if we are being honest, that's like an informal economy. So you are still making money. You are not completely unemployed because you are not captured in the employment, the blah data of Nigeria. Can you believe that? And the government is working with that, meaning Nigeria has no unemployment problem. In fact, Nigerians have overemployment, according to these rogues. And they are working with that, telling themselves that they are doing fine. Another falsification of forgery that they have also legitimized is that of the money printed by Bokwari. Don't forget, these are the same guys who were telling you then that Bokwari was building the future for Nigeria. Remember? When Nigerians were groaning, they were like, crying, screaming, shouting, Buhari, Buhari, Buhari. These rogues were all over your faces then, telling you that you have to endure. PDP destroyed Nigeria for 16 years. So Bokwari was building the future. You're all going to enjoy it. Only for us to realize that Bokwari printed $50 billion. And that is 27 trillion naira by the Emefiole's central bank. What did they do with the money? Nobody could tell. They were sharing the money to the state governments. Bokwari was printing money and giving it to the state governors to offset their, their debts. Kind of like, sorry, not debts, well, maybe debts. So, which was that they should pay unpaid salaries, contractors. They still didn't pay them all. The money disappeared. Now it was time for them to pay it back. thiefnubu came in because he was going to print his own money too. And if he's continue printing money, like Oduduwa Emefiole, yeah, Kadobi. Now, for them to be able to print their own money, they will have to write this one off. Can you believe that? They said they securitize Nigeria's debts. Criminals. Normally, they were supposed to be paying their money they took from the central bank, because central bank printed the money and gave it to them. They called it ways and means. Okay, so now they were supposed to be paying it back. The federal government should be deducting it from the state allocations every month. So that's how Tinubu managed to bring all these guys together, and that's why they were telling you that hey, Tinubu has paid off he no longer deducts money from them anymore. Under Bokwari at the point, yeah, Osun State became so bankrupted by Aregbemubu Baba Kabiru, right? Osun State, when other states collect, let's say for example, 3 billion, 4 billion, Osun State was collecting 500 naira or 5,000 naira because they would deduct all the money borrowed by Aregbemubu Baba Kabiru. By the time they deduct all the money from their federal allocation every month, only local government money is left. State has no allocation, no real allocation. Okay? So when Tinubu came, he told them that instead of deducting the money from you, they will just write it on paper now. Just write it on paper and say, this 30 trillion naira debt owed the Central Bank of Nigeria. States don't have to pay them back anymore now. So we're going to give them 30 years, what's they call that thing now? Break or probation or something. 30 years, right? That 30 trillion naira, okay, will not be paid back. So it's going to be like after 30 years, they will now start deducting it from whoever, if Nigeria still exists then, okay, or if you still have any of these states existing. So they will deduct it from them. So they clap for Tinubu. Ah, man, you are a genius. So now we have more money. We can get more money now. Like, you won't deduct all our money like that anymore. Say, no, we won't deduct it anymore. That was the arrangement. So that is the economic plan of Tinubu. What happened to that hole that the 30 trillion naira debt sank inside Nigeria economy? They didn't feel it. Oh, they just tear a sheet of paper and they just place it on it. Tear sheets of paper, place it on it, and say, "Don't worry, ignore it." But that's a very huge hole in Nigeria's finance and the economy. Say, no, don't worry. Let's go on and get more money. Ignore this because we will be printing more money. Tinubu himself has printed over 25 trillion naira. Not to talk about other loans, though, which has now kind of snowballed Nigeria's debt to over 250 trillion naira. That's Nigeria's debt. But they are not disclosing them. And you will never get the true picture of it, except this guy said lose power. Here is their chairman that is there to inaugurate their, what do you call it, door-to-door, like that confidence, like I'm going to put on Tinubu's shirt, Tinubu's hat, and I'm going to walk straight into people's homes. And I'm actually going to walk in there and tell them that, hey, I am here to talk to you about Koolu. People get mine though. Like, can you do it? Not me. So here, their chairman still rolling out all these fake lies that they themselves have become so used to it that they have believed in it. They have believed in their own lies. And that's one dangerous thing in this world, okay? When I was growing up, and I believe it is still the same thing though, right? When I was growing up, they used to say, somebody who is lying to you, no, sorry, you that is being lied to, if you don't know, it's okay. I mean, you don't know. So what can you do until you find out that they are lying to you, Abi? But he who is lying to you knows very much that he is lying to you. But, well, that's normal, right? However, when somebody that is lying to you begins to believe their own lies, like they begin to live their own lies, they begin to tell themselves that, oh my God, this country has become so great. Oh, can you imagine? Simply because they have all their hands in the till, like in the cookie jar. Their butter, their bread is being buttered very well. And they speak like this. Our Tinubu has changed, transformed. Go and tell everybody that he's transformed this country. Oh, if they can't feel it, they will still feel it later. And I don't think nobody is out there. I don't think anyone is out there that is not feeling Tinubu's transforming Nigeria. They said it's for good, but that's up to you. Yeah, chairman.
Presented by the Senate President, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabiole, the uncommon Senate President, that we have, if this new hope message is not told in homes, and who will celebrate our achievement if others decide to bury our successes in misinformation? That is why PBAT Door-to-door is a mission, it's a calling, and it's a patriotic responsibility given to you today to ensure that every Nigerian hears about the success story of the Renew Hope agenda. When Mr. President took over, we've mentioned so many success stories of the economy. Nigerian economy now is returning back from amber to green. Our GDP is growing at an average of 4%. We are picking up from where we thought we would not grow again. Everybody's confidence being restored across the globe. People now believe in us. And we must tell the story. We must inform people that our tax reforms, our own elder reform we've made, is giving more funds to the local government, giving more funds to the state governments, and all the projects being seen across Nigeria. They are stories of the success of the reform by the federal government. We must tell those stories. Those stories will be heard and heard clearly. And across Nigeria, you could see infrastructure rising up across the country. From the state governors to the federal government, you can see infrastructure across the country. Is it the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway? It's connecting the maritime. It's connecting the economy. It's connecting the oil sector. It's connecting the whole economic corridor across the country. The Sokoto-Bagadi Superhighway, with over 300 dams for agriculture and reticulation, is creating a new food corridor and connecting commerce across our nation. The longest ever road to be constructed in Nigeria, the Trans-Sahara Superhighway, from Calabar to Ebonyi, Ebonyi to Enugu, Enugu to Benue, Benue to FCT, FCT back to Akwanga in Nasarawa State, Nasarawa State to Jos, Jos to Bauchi, Bauchi to Gombe, Gombe to Biu, and Biu to Maiduguri. Over 1,300 kilometers of road. This will be the longest road ever, connecting the south-south to the southeast, to north central, to northeast, connecting 4 regions of Nigeria at the same time. Knock on every door, house to house. Speak with humility. Listen before you answer. Respect every citizen. Correct all misinformation with facts. Respond to anger with patience. And meet criticism with evidence. And win confidence through your service. APC has never been merely a political party. We are a movement of progressive, movement of progress. We are builders. We build across all fronts. We are reformers. We reform what people thought cannot be reformed. We are believers in one united Nigeria. And we have every reason to be proud of what our government is accomplishing. Fellow progressive, 2027 is a choice. A choice between moving forward and moving backward. A choice between reform and retreat. History teaches us that great victories are never achieved by leaders alone. We have the Senate President here, the Speaker, the governors, the party here, but we alone cannot achieve the victory that we need. Rather, victories are secured by ordinary men and ordinary women who on the streets can choose to do extraordinary activities and extraordinary things. Therefore, every door you knock will become a vote. Every conversation you hold will build confidence for our votes. Every heart you win will become a voice that will echo the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President. That is how movements will grow. And that is how a nation can change. And that is why election can be won. Let your voice become the voice of hope. Let the dedication become the strength of our great party. And let every Nigerian know that APC is present not during elections only, but is present in our day-to-day activities. Now let me ask you a simple question. By inviting all the leadership of the PBAT Door-to-door to be inaugurated, kindly call.
And for your information, right, this door-to-door thinking is being sponsored by Tompolo. That's not even like the thiefnubu's campaign. No. This is Tompolo, willing to spend hundreds of millions, if not billions of naira, okay, in helping to return thiefnubu back to power. And Tompolo is just one among maybe hundreds or even thousands of those who are still going to float their own different groups. You've seen the what they call the shitty boys movement, Abi. Now this one is called the door-to-door movement. The shitty boys movement is created by Sheyi, but sponsored or funded by state governors of APC, egbekegbe. So they are the ones who are supposed to be funding it. The first money they raised, according to the wala between them recently, right? So they raised, they said that they've raised about 100 or so billion naira for shitty boys movements. And so far, so good. They've expended almost 90% of the money. And yet, the other state governors were now asking the Oplesons or Digba, the Oplesons or Digjo for Wiri, right? That it should be removed as the APC Governors Forum chairman because of this mismanagement. And that one is just for shitty boys. You haven't heard much about them lately, have you? Yes, because of that money issue. Now, this is Tompolo, who has made hundreds of billions. He's a trillionaire, put it that way. He is not only collecting this free cash, which is, let me see, that's practically like about 85 billion naira annually from the government of thiefnubu. So if you check 3 years of thiefnubu, multiply that by, multiply 80 by 3, that's a 240 billion, Abi. Then multiply 5 times 3, that's a 15 billion, right? That's 255 billion. That's the minimum cash paid to him in 3 years alone. Yeah. For providing all of that, what they call the security. But when it now comes to the stealing of crude oil in the Niger Delta, think about how much he's also making. So thiefnubu must continue. The APC must remain in power. Whether the Niger Delta continue to be environmentally degraded, environmentally destroyed, aquatic life has been so ruined, agriculture is dead in that region because of gas flaring or oil spillages and all of that illegal activities happening in that place. They don't care. They are making money, billions of it. And everybody is trying to fight for his own space and prove their own loyalty to thiefnubu. You need to show workers. You need to show that, you know what, you are with him. And the only way to show is like this, okay? Reciprocatory gesture, whereby you have to say thank you. Out of maybe he's made over 1 trillion naira since thiefnubu came to power. So what is wrong in spending maybe 200 billion all over Nigeria? Get some buses, maybe 5,000 or 10,000 different vehicles, brand them and send them all over Nigeria with your own name underneath it that says sponsored by Tompolo, government Tompolo. That's what they do. And that is why when Akpabiole looked at the hall and he understands that those who are there are oil bunkers, NNPC thieves, government thieves, most of them are from the oil industry. He was calling their name. I had to cut the video short, right? He was calling their names. They were all there. Sure you get, because they were there to protect their own interests, but they didn't do it alone. To make it more glamorous, they invited the party leaders, government officials, traditional rulers, the youth, and all of them, all mobilized to show up and validate this their door-to-door. Akpabiole couldn't hide his, I think, his happiness. So he started singing.
The chairman of National Assembly, I can see everything turning around, everything turning around, everything turning around. For our good, I can see everything turning around, everything turning around, everything turning around for Nigeria. God bless you. Thank you for listening to me.
And Koolu was watching from his office with Riba Dump. He's a national security advisor. Like that.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is as well as the NSA legal rival, who is watching what is going on right now.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. You can see that feeds from what's happening outside is being shared, and of course feeds from what's happening inside is also being shared. Mr. President is having a good time watching us from the State House, Asarok. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while that is on our screen, we'll hand over the microphone to the National Coordinator.
Seats the stage and seats the front row, so we can have our dignitaries participate and listen to what is going on. Please exit the front row. Members of the press.
So that's a Koolu. And there's something I've also observed about Koolu. You know, Koolu is 70. How old is he? Officially, yeah, the football age. 76, yeah? Yeah, I think he's currently claiming to be 76 or 75. But Koolu seemed to me, I don't know, maybe his old age or maybe, I don't know, or maybe not the genetic or something. Or it looks like somebody who is practically like 90 to me. I know it's not 90, but I also know that he's not 76. So when you see him sit or stand, you'll be wondering like, what happened? Is it poo-pooing himself or something, or is having this? Because he never walks straight. He's an old man, don't get me wrong. He never walks straight. He never sits straight. When he sits, he's always like that. When he stands, he's always walking like somebody who, somebody who they have. And if you know, because I grew up around old people. And when I say old people, I mean very, very old people. At a point in my life, I was actually witnessing them all dropping dead. Like they were very old people. When you get older, you're going to get shrunk. You're going to shrink like that. So, and the older you become, the kind of like the shrunk you become like that. Something like that. Yeah. So if they try to stand up, they are standing up, it's just probably going to be like, I don't know, because I have seen it too. So when I see Koolu, who is also planning to be your life president, by the way, I don't know if you know that, right? He's planning to be your life president. After 2027, they are going to change the constitution of the country. They are going to start at the one single term of 6 years for governors and presidents. And then he's still going to be your president. By then, a lot of you would probably not be interested in any election anymore. And that's why some people are fearing that it's going to be your own Akpabiole. Yeah. But let's go back to governance now. Your Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, who was addressing a gathering, I believe, yesterday, was talking to these soldiers or sending a message to the Nigerian soldiers that once you get an order to go after terrorists, just fire them. There's no point in arresting them, sort of. I capture that.
To all members of the armed forces and security forces, once you are deployed, do not wait for any order from anybody to shoot any bandit or any terrorist. I want to make that very loud and clear. Anybody who refuses to shoot or kill any bandit or terrorist in the name of his waiting for an order, we will treat you like a bandit. The federal government, the state government, the local government, and indeed Nigerians' taxpayers' money is what is used to buy these equipments. And they are bought so that you can take down anybody who is trying to cause mayhem wherever he is. So it is your responsibility to ensure that you take him down, not to allow him to take you down.
Simple, Abi. Okay. I was going to share with you when they went on to submit a thiefnubu. After that drama in that hall, right? They went on to submit a thiefnubu's INEC form with the shitty man's name. But this time, excuse me, they were the APC members. So I will show you that. I'm going to go back into that security. In fact, I'm going to show you what it is like in Ogbomoso tonight when they received the news of the school children being released. So we're going to get to that too. But watch this. Koolu's men.
On behalf of our father, the father of the nation, the current president, and inshallah the incoming president, come January 2027, I am here to submit on his behalf, to submit the nomination form, duly completed, and signed with the sworn affidavit, Mr. President and the Vice President.
This way, sir. This way. This side. This side.
This side, sir.
This side too. Yeah. Confirm.
This time in 2022, among the people who stood by to process thiefnubu's nomination form was El-Rufai, the Kaduna Littlefinger. 4 years later, he is in detention. He is to spend even probably like more months in jail. And there's a chance that they probably won't release him until after the election. That's crazy, yeah? Dog eat dog. That's their world. Meanwhile, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, Ìbà Gani Adams, has also reacted, okay, to the latest sort of like insecurity in Oyo State, and including Yoruba land, put it that way, okay? However, before I take you to Iba's video, where he also took a dig at Sunday Oro, right? He wouldn't need to be going about with a drone and camera before he can show you what they are doing behind the scene on the insecurity issue in Yoruba land. But first, people of Ogbomoso receiving the news that the school children have been released. This was a moment ago in Ogbomoso town.
All right, you're back. All right, congratulations. Welcome. Congratulations. Life attacking roundabout. This is the rescue team. Congratulations. Ogbomoso aku Oriire. Our military online. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, Nigerian police. Thank you. Welcome. This is Ogbomoso Focus TV. Orita Taki Ogbomoso la wayo. All right. Congratulations. Adupe. Welcome. Congratulations, Nigerians. Ogbomoso aku Oriire. The rescue. Orita Taki Ogbomoso. Ibẹ̀ la wà báyìí. The rescue has been done. Congratulations. Orita Taki Ogbomoso. Ibẹ̀ la wà yìí. Wọ́n ti kó àwọn ọmọ wa dé o. Congratulations. Gbogbo Orita Ogbomoso ló ti dàrú yìí o. Àwọn èèyàn wa ń dunnú tó ń yọ̀. Nígbà tí wọ́n rí rescue team tó kọjá lọ sí tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ láti oríṣiríṣi náà là ń rí ní Orita Taki. They are saying congratulations and welcoming them now. Congratulations. That's just their boss that just passed now. oríta Takí Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ ibẹ̀ náà ti kí àwọn military tó ń bọ̀ láti operation we just getting them now. A kú oríire nílùú Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ a kí bàbá wa kábíyèsí ọba Ghandi Afọlábí Ọláoyè a kú oríire o a kú oríire ìrìn àjò tẹ́ ẹ ṣe lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ IG nìbàdàn nílùú Abuja ó ti ṣe sóréré o. We are saying congratulations to everybody. Congratulations. Inú àwọn Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ dùn lálẹ́ yìí o. We are really happy. Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ cannot sleep now. We can sleep properly. Congratulations. All right.
It's a good thing, isn't it? So the whole town, and not just Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́, even Ibadan. Okay, people have been reacting to the news, and we, like I said from the start, we tend to know more in the coming hours, because we expect them to show us those they claim they arrested, including the image of the ones they killed. We would love to see them, okay? Because those images should be on the internet. You know why? When the terrorists took these children and beheaded one of the teachers, they did not hesitate to actually show that to us on social media, that they've beheaded a teacher that did them nothing. So we'd like to see the faces. And me, I've been asking for a while now that I thought I was probably going to stumble on it somewhere, the information of who are those terrorists arrested and currently being held in Ibadan prison or your prison that the terrorists added as part of their demands for before they could release these children. So we would love to see that. This is Yoruba land, and there should be a little bit of a difference, not something that we are already used to. The choreographed kind of like madness created by the APC. Egbekegbe, they created this world. They created this reality. They want you and I to accept this reality as ours. So we would love to see the details of what happened or transpired. Okay? And Oyo State Governor once told us that they have lost over 200 Amotekun men to terrorists in Oyo State. That didn't make it to the news. We would like to know more. I am digging though. You know, if I found anything, I'm going to come back here and share it, right? Here is Iba Gani Adams talking on the same issue.
Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ security mélòó ni mo fẹ́ kà lẹ́yìn àdégbè bí wọ́n ti bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé program ọmọ wa ti rí ní different area nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹni tó ní structure ó yàtọ̀ sẹ́ni tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kó structure jọ ṣé àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń ṣe security ẹ pé ẹ̀rí pé òun pọ̀ ní festival àbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́ torí pé àwọn ọmọ wa ti engage ní security ó lè pé ìkọ̀tọ̀ fi ń jẹ wọn ni tá a bá fẹ́ lọ ṣe ológun festival a kọ́ notice pé táwọn wa bá dé ó bá máa di aago mẹ́ta máa sáko ní beach àwa rí pé gbogbo èrò tá a rí rẹpẹtẹ ní òru yẹn tó wá máa di 4 wọ́n ti kó ní ológun àwọn àwádìí pé kí ló fà á wọ́n fi kó 4 later ni àwa mọ̀ wípé àwọn ọmọ wa fẹ́ sáré lọ resume back sí post security kàn lè hand over láago 6 sí aago 6:30 òun náà fi ń dúró fún main festival mo lè fẹ́ dárúkọ kò sí DPO tó succeed ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí ò partner pẹ̀lú OPC ní ìlú ẹ̀ kò sí DPO náà ẹ wá sọ DPO pé ọ̀rọ̀ security tí mo ṣe ní post mi èmi nìkan mo dá ṣe láì ní OPC ní backing àbí vigilante or Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà kò sí DPO náà so tẹ́lẹ̀ kan wá sọ pé kí làárẹ̀ ṣe máa kàn máa wò ní pé ṣé èmi máa bá yín pé kámẹ́rà káàkiri Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá là pé oyè tí Abíọ́lá pillar of sport nígbà tó wà láyé is the richest person in Africa oyè tó filẹ̀ tí Ọlọ́run wá gbé mi síbẹ̀ àwọn aṣe báṣubàṣu an issue of security èèyàn máa ní àròjì.
Gani Adams. So that was him telling that interviewer that he is not expected to be going about with cameras, drones, and say he's going after the terrorists when his boys have always been assigned to that, and they've been doing so well. There is no DPO in Yoruba land, talking about the divisional police officer, so right, there is no DPO in Yoruba land that succeeded in their post that never really worked with the OPC. That's what he said. So he believes that their own role is mostly unsung or celebrated, to say, and somehow but very critical. Makinde, I remember when Makinde met with this Bala Muhammad from Bauchi, the eve of the kidnapping of these school children, and he said something that I'm going to add to this now before we go to something else, right? He said that the fortnight after he declared that he was going to run for president, then the next thing, they went on and took the school children, then pointing fingers at thiefnubu and his gang indirectly. He said this weeks ago. I'm bringing it back.
For 7 years, we didn't witness anything like this in Oyo State. I declared to run for the presidency of Nigeria at 4 o'clock, and by 9 a.m. the following morning, the children were abducted. We're still feeling through.
Indicting, yeah? Yeah, he said that. And it is also similar to what Goodluck Ebele said in 2014 when the Chibok girls were taken, and his own fight against I think it's before the Chibok girls were taken, no, before. So he was referring to this guy, Alimodu Sharif, who happened to be the founder of the Boko Haram in Nigeria. Start with that. So similar. This was, believe me, this was about 12 years ago, Jonathan.
Bunkers in Mediguri or in Borno State. Why should the bunkers come? Who wants to send bunkers to Borno State? There are too many APCs. Why should there be APCs in Borno State? Who wants to send APCs to Borno State? We are talking about soldiers. There are some people saving soldiers that the JTF should move. Who wants to spend money paying allowances of soldiers, for God's sake? We need money for development. If the circumstances that brought the soldiers are no longer there, that day they will all leave. That day they will all leave. They were not in Borno State in 2001, 2002, 2003, up to 2009. Probably that is when this man was killed, and that was the beginning of crisis. What is the name of Governor Sherif's friend? When Yusuf was killed, of the crisis. You know, but let me be very frank, because the analogy.
That was 13 years ago. You see this Boko Haram you are hearing today, right? Their founder was a commissioner. He was a special advisor to the Borno State Governor, Alimodu Sharif. He was a commissioner under Alimodu Sharif. And why? Sorry, before I get to that, right? So, and why did all of that change? Well, Alimodu Sharif was governor of Borno State. Itiman was his deputy governor. Okay? So, Muhammad Yusuf, who happened to be the leader of the fanatics, because they actually had to use religion, okay, religion for their campaigns back then, right? So they said, Muhammad Yusuf lost favor, or maybe something happened between himself and, what do you call him? Alimodu Sharif. So the next thing, he was arrested by the police. Before you know it, they executed him. But they made a mistake by taking the picture of his lifeless body and when he was alive too. So they tied his hands like this to his back. They tied his legs like a ram, something like this. Yeah, like a ram. And then they shot him. They executed him. So in their report, they said he was trying to escape. How could somebody you tied his legs like a ram, and tied his hand naked? How could you see that person was trying to escape and you executed him like that? So they uploaded the picture on social media, and that was all these terrorists. That's all they needed. So they went after those who were supposed to be lieutenants, and they killed some others who jailed some more. But those ones who escaped left town, and they went on to become this Boko Haram. Crazy, yeah? Because they all came from the background of being used as a political tool. That's the beginning. How they were harmed, how they were funded, how they matched and all that. So Mohammed Yusuf Dere is like it's a pandemic. You know it's a pandemic. Or it's a patantami. So it's a pandemic. Is also a terrorist who happened to be a terror preacher. He had his own mosque. Yusuf had his own mosque also in Maduguri or something. Like it's a pandemic that later became a minister under Bokwari. Yusuf became a commissioner under Alimodu Sheriff. So that arrangement, that whole build-up, Jonathan knew about that. I mean, as the president of Nigeria back then, he had all the information. That was the genesis. Now, the effort to keep the Boko Haram, ISWAP, Lakurawa, Fulani terrorists, to keep them functional this long is because they now have, not now, they've probably had that now, yeah? So they have what you can call the international collaboration and local collaborators. And most of the local collaborators are the influential people who hold political powers in Nigeria, or they sponsor those who hold political powers in Nigeria. They have these political leverages that every president of that contraption that doesn't even have a spine can go after them, right? But that's where we are now. European parliaments did speak about, or did kind of like discuss this too, 2 days ago.
Thank you, Chair, Commissioner, dear colleagues. The horrific attacks in Kavel village, where innocent Christians, including their pastor, were brutally killed, is yet another tragic reminder of the escalating violence against Christians communities in Nigeria. Sadly, this is not an isolated incident. Nigeria has become one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian. Across the country, Christian communities face repeated attacks by Faluni militants, Boko Haram, and other organized groups. Violence is part of a broader and deeply worrying pattern of persecution. EU must therefore strongly condemn these attacks and press on the Nigerian government to step up its fight against the armed militant groups responsible for this violence. I call on the Commission to give an urgent attention to the worrying situation of Christians in Nigeria and all persecuted religious communities in Nigeria. We had a very fruitful discussion this morning with the newly appointed EU Special Envoy on Religious Freedom, Mary McGuinness, and I look forward to working with her to help Christian and other religious groups to facing persecution. Thank you very much.
So they were talking about the killings in Nigeria, right? And then the government of Nigeria is also spending so much to make them stop talking about the killings. Hey, they kill people elsewhere too. Talk about them, leave Nigeria. There's no killings like that in Nigeria. It's just people clashing. It's just some misunderstandings here and there. In fact, it is not a Christian genocide. These are the defenses of the Nigerian government agents. It's not happening. No, you get it wrong. That's not what's going on. Oh, come on, man. Oh, people are dying. Yeah, but it's just, just a fraction of, oh. APC, egbekegbe. But here is another video that somehow may appeal to your bias or biases on this issue, okay? Where people say that the Fulani must go, the Fulani needs to go back to where they come from, wherever they come from, wherever the hell they come from, they have to go back to that place. We don't know where. Some say they come from Senegambia, they come from, I don't know. But we have seen a video, right or wrong. They said that some of them are already migrating all their cows, their livestock, and the rest of them outside some of these hot zones in the middle belt part of Nigeria to the northern part of Nigeria as they are headed, migrating to Cameroon. Have you seen this video? I'll show you.
Ìgbà kan máa dé àsìkò kọ́ṣe ń bọ̀ wá ìgbà kan máa dé àsìkò kọ́ṣe ń bọ̀ wá tólórò máa sáré ọlọ́pàá máa sáré ayé máa sáré ẹyẹ tí ò dúró rere máa sáré àlórà máa sáré hs tí kò mọ kankan máa sáré everybody máa sáré gbogbo wa pátá máa sáré ìgbà yẹn ti dé àsìkò yẹn náà làwà ìgbà yẹn ti dé àsìkò yẹn náà làwà everybody máa sáré ọlọ́pàá máa sáré àwọn tó ń ṣòro gan máa sáré olúmọlẹ̀ máa sáré àpè.
iná máa sáré olúwo ìlú gan máa sáré. Director's cut. Now let's go to something else again. Well, not something else, something similar, right? So the Lagos State government yesterday, no, 2 days ago, they rounded up all the street beggars. And after profiling them, sorting them, they will be deporting them back to their states. So Nigerians, okay? So from the least expected place, a voice is speaking up, asking question. And that is a Desmond idiot. Yeah. Desmond is saying that are we not trying to criminalize poverty like this? If poor people resort to begging and the state government arrested them for begging, that means they've committed a crime, isn't that a way of criminalizing poverty? But even the dead clock can be right, will be right, by the way. The dead clock is always right, twice in a day, AM and PM. You know that? I don't know if this one makes sense because he is a typical Desmond idiot.
Should be enabled.
Firstly, I commended the fact that such a bill could have come up at this wonderful time. It was very timely, or it is very timely. Lagos is growing in geometric progression. and it's time for us to start nipping things in the bud. I said we have street urchins, we have street beggars, we also have children that beg and sell, that there should be clear divisions. You can't just put penalties of 200,000 naira and say you are putting it on them. Who are you charging? Who are you penalizing? Is it the children? Is it the urchins? Then what is street urchins? You must have a clear definition of who street urchins are. Then you must also understand, are we also saying that it is are we criminalizing poverty? Is my question. It is wrong for them to be on the streets, yes, but penalizing them for being on the streets to try and have to fend for their daily livelihood should not be the problem. The problem is we should have a welfare scheme by which we can bring them out, educate them, take them to vocational studies, give them medical help, and do stuff. We at the assembly should also do our own bit. What is our bit? Making sure that we put enough resources that can help to take these children out of the road, out of the streets. That is one part. The other part are those that do negative activities, on the road. Now, those ones are the ones I'm asking that all necessary agencies should nip in the bud and curb. We need to curb those ones. Today, we don't know what causes traffic anymore. Is it these people begging, or is it even the cars? It's becoming a menace, even to our tourism in Lagos State. And I just really thanked the sponsor of that bill, and I want us to expedite on it, and let's put resources at making sure that we reduce street begging in Lagos State. Thank you very much.
Reducing street begging or criminalizing street begging, there are two different things. So he's developed a bill to help in that regard. I hope they had it also that Lagos State should not be hiring thugs, urchins, or other criminally minded people. Take a look at Kai. This Kai official, they arrested people for violating traffic. I don't know what they violated. Okay, I think they were arrested for crossing the motorway, the expressway. Okay, and that was something that usually you should be maybe taken to a judge, I think, but that's not what they do. So the Kai in Lagos can have you, if you have money, you probably can sort yourself and just walk out of the van. And those who don't have money are the ones that will end up in their cells. But this one, a criminal in a lemon uniform, right, was there billing the people he just captured. It is like a kidnapper collecting ransom from his victims and then getting caught in Lagos.
See money, 20,000 everybody. Today crazy.
So we say Onioloni, Onioloni. So that's a guy who, according to him, right, he's doing his job. He's busy, he's working now. So if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? 20 of you. Multiply that by 20,000 naira. That's 400 grand, 400K. Just like that. So he's so busy there collecting it. Some are giving him their phone to type his account number. So he's putting his account number on their phone so that they could send their 20,000 and work out whatever happens. Just go. Because we don't really have any plan to lock you up. If you have the money, bail yourself now and go. Transactional. Because it is Lagos. It doesn't always work out well, or at least not between this Agberu. and a downfall driver. Everything is still about money.
Give me my money. Come on for here. You know what? I will kill you. I will kill you for sure. Come on for here. Don't worry. Come on for here. I will arrest you.
Like I'm an able-bodied man who has to go out there and hustle, driving a van or a bus. Then another able-bodied man is there in this uniform with a marker, just writing jargons on the body of my car, collecting money. If I fail to give him money, he may beat me to super. But if I'm also a thug, to some extent, like I'm a stubborn, then we have to slug it out like that. Mad people, mad country. Somebody just said, oh, the mad people. You haven't seen mad. You want to see craze. Now take a look at the passengers who charged at the FRSC, the Federal Road Safety Corps guys, who nearly caused an accident, and the passenger came down, also in Nigeria. It was a mad episode. You want to see it? Here.
Arrivederci, no worry yourself. He knows it, they won't finish it.
For this one, his fellow colleague, and today this guy come up with anger and telling me that and not that. I thought that my specter is okay. No, that's not for them. My excuse guy is okay. No, that's not for them. Now, sir, he created a scene. He has created a scene here. He has created a scene here. Any day when you bleed, I go drive this one. I'm not going to stop for now. I tell your guy. I know here na federal, no be federal road. See federal road. You see, no. My community road become too much. My community road too much. Yeah. Only you now, but the rest of you, I can tell you now. Love. Calm down. Sorry. Calm down. If we do not work today, I will not. Every day. Calm down, I beg. I'm only advising. Why keep on that? Tomorrow I don't go there. You understand me? Keep your hand down. Keep your hand down the top. You want to jump somebody? No. Let me tell you. Keep your hand down the top. You want to woo somebody? You want to woo somebody? There is something I want you to do. This is a madman. Don't go take a but there is a madman. I don't step about. No. I don't step that way into you. I don't step that way into you.
Go hold this man there.
Hit my phone, fell on the ground. You saw him. That guy has an attitude. Hit my phone. You saw him. If I make us invest, I will make sure that inside this going to see what don't wet now. This thing don't. No, I'm not the time make you do anything. This thing don't wet.
carry your workers for us.
I think they want preaching to where you don't preaching it.
I mean, everybody is angry. And no wonder, right? So you can tell why. Why is everyone is angry like that? Well, everyone is angry because of what Nigeria is doing to them. They usually say that, may Nigeria not happen to you, may Nigeria not happen to me. And somehow, some people take that at the face value and just be like, but you better say amen. Whenever they say that may Nigeria not happen to you, you better say amen. You don't want to find out what it means when it does happen, when it happens, right? In Delta, we've not heard from a Bright Daffy, that police spokesperson for the police of Delta States, just shared another story with us, okay? A family that usually send their child to school through a bike man. They do that in Nigeria. You assign a bike man that will help you to take your child to school, to and fro, right? So one of them in Delta decided to, make extra money for himself by kidnapping the same child they have been given to him to take to school and back. Then he got caught after collecting 500,000 naira ransom. This was in Delta, by the way. Bright.
I'm SP Daffy Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. One would wonder, who do we trust? Who do we hand our children to? Who do we entrust with the responsibility of taking care of our children at times? We have a case of a 3-year-old child who an Okada rider was contracted to be picking the child from home to school and from school back to the home. He did this job for about 3 weeks before the devil came into him, according to him. On that fateful day, he took this child. Instead of taking the child to school, he took the child to wherever he took the child to and started calling the parents with another line that the child has been kidnapped and they should bring the ransom of 2 million naira. His own line was switched off. They couldn't reach him. So they never thought he was even the one who masterminded the kidnap. They reported while they were at the police station, he also called, threatening them that if they go to the police, they will kill the child. Eventually, a ransom of 500,000 was paid. That was when he allowed the child to go. Trust us, we swung into action, went into technically driven, intelligence-led investigation, and were able to unmask the face of the kidnapper who kidnapped that little child. This happened in Ugele about 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. My brother, no, not face me, stay there. What's your name?
My name is Kelvin Ogaga.
Kelvin Ogaga?
Yes, sir.
Ogaga?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mishurobo Kewe? Or you sabi English?
Yes, yes.
Don't worry, our people not all of them hear Robo like that. Okay, so why were you arrested?
I was arrested because of a 3-year-old child which I kidnapped.
You kidnapped the 3-year-old child?
Yes.
Who was the child to you?
The child is, I'm the one that used to take her to school and from school.
Okay, how much did they pay you? How much they agreed to pay you? 10,000. Every day or every month?
Every month.
Every month, 10,000. Yes. Okay. Okay, just to carry the child to and fro.
Yes.
So how many weeks you don't do the work before this thing happen?
So in total it's about 4 weeks, sir.
Almost a month. Have they paid you already before this thing happen?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so on that fateful day when you carry this pikin, wetin go happen?
What really happened was that before now I was looking for money, so
you no go give me story or go straight to the point.
So a friend of mine told me that I should take the child. So when I carry the child, so that I will ask the parents to give us money. So I was worried. I say, he said I should do it. I should not worry.
What is that your friend name?
It's they call it Omo.
Omo, how long have you known him?
I know him for years, but we are not that close. But I've known him for years.
But close enough to encourage you to kidnap a child that you are supposed to be taking home and to school. So where is your friend now?
He lives in Ofoma.
All right. So after you kidnapped this pikin, how did you contact the family of the child?
Okay. At first, my friend called. My friend was the one that called. So after he called them, so he handed over the phone to me that I should be making the call that he's coming back. That somebody called him. So while he was away, he used to call me every 10 minutes asking me how far I've gone with them. So, because I asked him before he left,
you dey waste my time. Okay. Eventually, how much you collect?
Collected 500,000.
So when you collect 500,000, what do you come do to the pikin?
They will release the pikin.
All right. So when police arrest you, you're not surprised? It not shock you?
I was surprised.
It shock you? All right. The money you collected from the parents, what did you use it for? How na take share am?
We never really shared the money because
So where's the money now?
I used some to pay debt I was holding.
Okay, I think some part of the money was recovered. All right. Okay, you use some pay debt wey you dey owe.
Yes.
The money you collect na cash abi na transfer?
Now we use POS.
You collect cash abi transfer?
Na cash.
All right. What was the role of your girlfriend inside the matter? Yes, you say your girlfriend join on this side. What be her own role?
Actually, she planned this thing with me. So like my friend, when I met my friend took me to a place and he told the man that this child was actually my.
It's okay. I know you know how to speak very good English. I wonder why you're not using that English to do something meaningful with your life. I'm saying this, we are bringing this out so that parents will be mindful of those they entrust their children to. You don't entrust your child to a stranger, and when it happens, you start blaming the police. The people who give you this child to the carrier, you know them before?
No, they know me through somebody I was carrying their child.
That child, you don't first kidnap that one before?
No.
All right. It is why the good part of it is that the child is safe. The suspect has been arrested. Some part of the ransom money was recovered. This is a message to parents out there to ensure that they do due diligence when it comes to the welfare and the well-being of their children. This is Delta State Police Command. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. I hope a parent will probably accede to that advice like you should. You know, you should be careful of those you and your children too. I mean, school drop-off, right, is part of parenting, I think, especially for here, right? You have to take your child to school. One of the parents has to. Okay? That's kind of like a different bonding on its own. Why would you just put your child on a bike? Like, why would you even do that? People do that in Nigeria a lot, too. But yeah, I hope they learn. Okay? So, finally, this is just a reminder for some of you who might become so philosophical, trying to explain to us why injustice to one is injustice to all the blah, blah stuff. Because we do know that, though, right? I'm talking about the Rufaya, the Kaduna Little Finger, that evil, tiny vermin that is currently being dealt with by his own late our friend, Koolu. Remember? So I have this throwback video of when El Rufaya, the Kaduna Little Finger, was very much in power. This was in 2016. And he's there talking about people who fought him or fight him. He said, you know, he's not somebody anybody can fight. Because if he fights you, either of you will have to end up on the ground. It's either you or him. One person will die. If you don't believe it, ask Yaradua. But thiefnubu is not Yaradua. He didn't allow El Rufaya, okay, to live in exile and begin to, you know, wield this fake influence. He decided to cut him to size before it could become a bigger problem, I think. And I also believe that El Rufaya himself possibly believed that the Northerners or the North will rally around him if thiefnubu put him in prison. Now he's been there now for over 130 days, nearly 130 days, by the way. But this was El Rufaya, the Kaduna evil man, 10 years ago.
About them. But anybody that tries to criminalize Nasir El Rufai should know that he has a battle on his hands till one of us drops dead. And if they have any doubt, they should go and ask Umar Yaradua. I will fight you until I'm dead or you're dead. Because I will not sit back and be criminalized. This is what about them.
But right now, his family, his wives are all begging that they are scared that he may be killed inside that prison. Well, it's one enemy. Remember that Afro senator, Sonny, who has now found favor with Koolu, and he will be going back to the Senate if everything works out well for them in 2027. He was sacked from that same post by El Rufaya, the Kaduna Little Finger. Now, he is here speaking to those who are trying to defend him. Like, you defending this guy? Really? Hi, right.
It is shocking and condemnable and unfortunate to see the ADC gubernatorial candidate in person of Honorable Isa Ashir-Kudan identifying himself with a man who had undermined peace, security, justice, and equity in the southern part of Kaduna. As a seasoned politician, he should have the energy, the moral standing to stand on his own and to advertise himself based on what he believes in. But what is very clear is that he is identifying with a man that has a track record of treating people with contempt, treating them with disdain, the man who has no respect for rule of law, the man who has imprisoned so many, the man who has destroyed the lives of so many, the man who has retrenched and sacked workers, the man who has denied many people their rights in Kaduna State. I cannot imagine anyone from Southern Kaduna now thinking of giving a chance to a man whose policies and programs for 8 years has impoverished Southern Kaduna, has exposed them to the cruel form of insecurity, has denied them their entitlement, has treated them like apartheid, blacks in apartheid South Africa. So any politician identifying with Nasir El-Rufai is not deserving of the votes of people in Kaduna State. That is my own personal opinion, and I believe that any morally sound person should be able to do that. Criticizing Obasani on the matters of insecurity in Kaduna State is more or less not appreciating the effort which he has been able to make over the years. And we have a Minister of Defense that comes from Southern Kaduna, which of course Obasani has played a prominent role in that. We have also seen federal presence in Southern Kaduna at this very time. We have also seen infrastructure development in Southern Kaduna. We have seen how the impunity of retrenchment, of sacking of people, of arresting people indiscriminately and pushing them to prison, of threatening political and religious leaders in Southern Kaduna coming to an end in 2023, and now a new regime, a new government in this state I was working out things differently. So my own advice to people of Southern Kaduna is that you should stick to Obasani, you should re-elect him into office, you should give him a chance, and should support him. And if there are any areas which you believe need improvements through your leaders, through constructive criticism, those things can actually be addressed. But
who is a criminal? Tinubu is a criminal. Tinubu is a criminal. Who is the bandit? Tinubu is a bandit. Who is the terrorist? terrorist. Tinubu is a terrorist. Who is the criminal? Tinubu is a criminal. Who is corruption? Who is the criminal? Tinubu is a bandit.
And on that note, we are going to wrap it up tonight. Sorry that few of you have been trying to call in, not been picked, okay? I just thought I should download all of that and see how long it's going to take us. So it takes us a while, okay? So thank you. Mind you, please like the broadcast if you haven't liked it already. And share it too to these new subscribers. I've seen some of you just joined again on YouTube. So thank you. Welcome on board. Please check your notification settings as well, okay? Go check it now and then set everything to on and you won't miss anything on Mayegun's Diary Political. And to the rest of us in the Temple of Truth tonight, Lababs and others, thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening. Join me another time if you can, and I will see you then. So it's going to be a good night from here. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun Diary, Diary Political. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.